And we're off to the Health Hub Times Square in Ballincollig, where Anneliese joins us this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Anneliese.
Good afternoon, Patricia.
And you're welcome. Let's get straight into questions. Katie has been on to us. She suffers from varicose veins. She's on a product called Venaforce for the veins, but she said the veins are very itchy. Could you suggest something to help with the itch? She also is on a tablet called Telfast that was to stop the itching in her hands, but it's not working.
Okay, so I think there's two separate things there, Patricia, because Telfast is an antihistamine, so I don't know, would she have had some rash or something on her hands, because it would be very unusual to have, unless she's itchy veins on her hands, that's possible. So the product that she's on, the Venaforce, is the extract of horse chestnut, and that's fantastic for varicose veins, and I think she may be taking the tablets, and they do take time to work, really. So the best thing to do is to use a cream on the outside, and we get the best feedback. There are two kinds. So the Dr. Vogel does one, but we get better feedback on the Dr. Clare Venatone cream. We get great feedback on that, and that works fairly quickly to take the itch and the soreness and the pain out of them. And then over time you should need less and less of the cream as the horse chestnut is kicking in from the inside out.
And is that a common thing, that veins like that would become itchy?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And can be very painful as well, Patricia. Some people kind of get restless legs from it. Some people feel terrible heat from them. And some people have pain. But itching is very common.
All right, okay. Yeah. All right, hi. A question for Anneliese, please. What would be the best iron tablet to give to a Leaving Cert student who is low on iron? Also for me, I'm a mother in my 50s. I have what I can only describe as a funny sensation when I pee. What could it be? I don't think it is a kidney infection. And then the past few days I've been suffering with a headache that I don't think is in any way connected to my kidneys. But I also have a bit of a drop at the back of my throat. And I think that could be connected to the headache.
Right, okay, there's lots going on.
There is, yeah. Okay, start with the iron tablet first.
We'll start with the iron.
Yeah.
So I think the best one, now there's different irons on the market, and I know there's one called Active Iron, there's the Galford. They would be the ones commonly that people take, but they can be constipating. So the best type of iron really that doesn't constipate is an iron in the form of iron bisglycinate, it's called. bisglycinate, bisglycinate, and that's generally very well tolerated. But we have a fabulous product in the shop here that I think would be better for the Leaving Cert student because it has everything in there that your blood could possibly need, including iron and all the B vitamins, which is brilliant for brain, nervous system function and for energy. And that one is called Nature's Plus Hemaplex. So if you can get your hands on that one, it's not expensive and it's a fantastic iron, blood, tiredness, energy-based product.
Okay, and then for herself?
Okay, so then the strange sensation when weeing. Now, I don't know what kind of a strange sensation it is. If it's a slight burning, it could be cystitis. So cystitis isn't, it's more of an irritation and maybe inflammation of the urethra, which is further down the urinary tract towards the end as opposed to further up near the kidneys. So a lot of people would get cystitis fairly commonly. So that can cause kind of a burning sensation or maybe a stinging sensation when you go to the loo. If it's very severe, you kind of constantly get the feeling that you want to go to the toilet, and when you go, you wouldn't have much there to wee out. So that would be typical cystitis. And the best thing for that is Dr. Clare, she does a cystone product. It is brilliant, and actually it works very well to prevent kidney infections as well for people who are prone to kidney infections. So that's what I would recommend for that one. And then the headache. And
the drip down the back of her throat.
Yeah, so like I know myself, if I get a headache, it's often my immune system is fighting something. I know something's coming. And that's actually when I start taking my kind of immune boosting. I wouldn't take them every day, really, except for vitamin D. So, again, I'm going to go back to the Dr. Clare there. Her Mucotone is fantastic because it's got echinacea in it, which will ramp up your immune system. But it's got a lot of stuff in there as well for the respiratory system, both sinus and chest. So it's definitely the best remedy if you're fighting anything respiratory at all. And then I think probably just make sure you're taking your vitamin D throughout the winter, especially this year. With so little summer sunshine this year, I think we're all probably a bit deficient already, especially now at the end of November. So make sure you're taking your vitamin D. Okay,
somebody else is in on iron. I don't know if it's the same advice that you just gave to the young Leaving Cert student. I've low iron levels. I'm in my late 50s. a female, what's the best to take?
Yeah, again, it's the same. The iron bisglycinate is probably the easiest and gentlest on the system. I've never had a complaint yet from anybody. And actually, it seems to work very well, because if the iron is constipating you, that means iron is not really being absorbed properly. And this would be very common in people who might have, food intolerances. Celiacs would be the very typical one where they're not absorbing properly. Also, if you're on a PPI, for heartburn, that can really affect your ability to absorb iron. So the iron bisglycinate is a lovely way of getting it into your system, and you should be able to get that in any health store. But if you want a totally comprehensive product, that Nature's Plus Hemaplex contains everything in there, including B12 and folate, that build healthy red blood cells, and a few other bits and pieces in there as well. So it's a fantastic product, and we sell buckets of it, and we have always got great feedback.
Good. Liz lost a toenail about 2 years ago. Now, she doesn't say why or how, but it has never grown back. Is there anything she can do to encourage toenail growth?
I don't think so. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, Patricia. Like, if she has damaged the nail at the bed, that's where the damage is. That's probably not going to regrow. But generally, if you want healthy nails to grow, because we'd have a lot of people in saying my nails are very weak, what would you recommend? I think the best thing is something called biotin, Biotin. It's actually one of the B vitamins, and you'd often see it in shampoos and things like that. But to be honest, it doesn't do any good putting it on. You have to actually take it internally. So you'll get plenty biotin products in the health stores, or maybe even in the pharmacies. And ideally, you'd be taking about 5,000 milligrams per day, which is 5 grams a day. And a good strong biotin, you'll quite easily find that in a health shop. That's really good for any kind of nail growth, if they've gotten weak, or if they're breaking, or if they're raggedy.
Okay, Rose wants to know, what is the cause of cold hands? She obviously suffers with them.
Don't know. Some people just always have cold hands and feet, Patricia, and some people are always cold. Sometimes you could kind of say it's a thyroid thing. People with low thyroid function would feel cold, but when they shouldn't feel cold, and maybe not specifically just their hands and feet, their whole body probably would feel cold. Some people, it's a circulation issue. So the circulation to your hands, the blood isn't getting there, the nice warming blood. That could be an issue. There is something called Raynaud's disease, which is a type of autoimmune where the blood vessels actually shut down when they're shocked by the cold, and your fingertips can go kind of quiet, white and numb. So it's possibly that it could be a bit of Raynaud's. That's a genetic issue. So if you want something for circulation, and if it is Raynaud's, I love the Viridian horseradish and garlic complex. I think it's a great one. The garlic is brilliant for lots of different things. Besides circulation, it's a great antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, so it'll give your whole digestive system a clear out, as well as support your immune system. And the horseradish is beautifully warming, so you could try something like that and see did that help. And maybe at the next time you get your blood checked at the doctor, just get your thyroid checked just to be sure. Okay,
and Brian recently had a fall where he hurt his back. He's ended up with muscle pain as a result of the fall. Now, he is on pain relief tablets, but he'd love to be taking something more natural. Obviously, he's one of those people who doesn't really like taking too many tablets. What would you suggest?
Okay, well, I mean, unfortunately, there's very little in terms of natural remedies that will give you that instant pain relief. But what he could take are a couple of different things to sort of speed up the healing and to help with the muscles. So the first thing I'd recommend is arnica. Always great after a fall for bruising and muscle pain or muscle pulling. That's a homeopathic remedy. It's fantastic after surgery for any type of healing at all. So that, I would definitely take that. And then you could take magnesium, which is very good for like tense kind of sore muscle, because, you know, when you've hurt yourself, sometimes you can hold yourself very tight. Now, you probably might actually benefit more from rubbing it on as opposed to taking the magnesium orally, because that would get right into the muscle and help with that. And then if there's no broken skin, one of the things that I absolutely love is the Pernaton. It's spelled Pernaton, and it's the hot one. So you put it on, and the heat, it's got, I think, chili extract in there, and the heat just kind of gets into your skin and heats up, and you get relief. It's not as good as probably a heavy-duty painkiller, but it will give you some immediate comfort and relief, even though it doesn't actually probably help fix the problem. It's great to use in the moment. That's called Pernaton, Pernaton.
Okay, and as always, Anneliese, all of the information that she's imparted to us today, she'll put up on her own website this afternoon. Listen, thank you for that. Have a lovely week.
Thanks,
we'll chat
Patricia.
next Monday. Bye-bye. Anneliese Dressel, Health Hub Times Square in Ballincollig.